Then abstract. Then we have the holiday decorations attachment to National Grid poles.
Yeah, we just have to pass a resolution to indemnify National Grid if anything should happen with our lights.
Oh, that's it.
So it's an annual thing.
I awarded a bid for the new excavator. And then we have the resolution of October the 9th, 2017, rescinded for purchase of tractor from Larry Romans. Oh, I remember that.
We're reversing the two that we did last time and passing one
That's
for the
new for
combined.
football, yes. Resolution of October the 9th, 2017, rescinded for purchase of more from Syncon. And then we approval of grant for wastewater treatment plan. This is the grant that was awarded to us from the Environmental Facility Corporation in the amount of $1,192,000, if I'm not mistaken. And then we have to approve the grant for filtration plant, and that's about $932,000. And then the approval for purchase of John Deere tractor with mower and attachment from Syncon Premier Municipal and Truck Equipment, which is, that's why we rescinding the other two. All right, and then go to new business, fire department report for September 2017, right here. And then the bid tabulations for new excavator.
Yeah, we had two bids for the excavator. Admar Supply for $95,000 and Lift Tech for $167,500. The one we're passing tonight is the $95,000 excavator.
Okay, and then the request from volunteer fire department. They have to test.
And Alex to that.
Oh, they're on the honor roll.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we open it to the public. Do we have any questions or requests or anything to offer to our workshop?
To express that someone had come to our house. I'm so sorry. Yes, my name is Leslie Willie. I spoke with a village resident earlier today who expressed that somebody came to her house to test the water from her kitchen for the village, they said. She was concerned because she had asked this person for some sort of identification or credentials and they could not provide any. So if this is somebody from the company that the village has hired, I'm wondering if something can be said to the company or to these people that are.
Where was that? What the address was?
She is on Seymour Street.
Seymour Street.
Yes.
Did we go there?
No, it was one of Chris Serma's employees, Allison Wall.
Oh, okay.
I addressed it with him.
Oh, you did?
Okay.
Okay, great.
Thank
All right,
you.
thank you very much. Thank you for the question. Anybody else? All right. Should we go to another executive? How we doing?
Might as well, as long as we got this much
We
time.
don't have anything else.
Yeah.
By the way, we will address the water breaks at the regular meeting. So we'll have to wait for that. Right, we can go to another executive then.
I hereby make a motion to enter into executive session to discuss medical, financial, credit, or employment history of a particular person's or matters leading to the appointment, employment, promotion, demotion, discipline, suspension, dismissal, or removal of a particular person.
Oh, Trustee Crilly.
Yes.
Trustee Christina.
Yes.
Trustee Linden.
Aye.
Trustee Jones.
Aye.
Trustee Esek.
Yes.
Thank you. Village of Fredonia duly called and held on the designated public locations in accordance with Section 104 of the Open Meetings Law.
Present at this meeting have read the official minutes of the Board of Trustees' regular meeting of October 9th, 2017. Now therefore be it resolved, this board approves the minutes as entered into resolve that the reading of the minutes be dispensed with.
I second.
Trustee Cradley?
Yes.
Trustee Christina?
Yes.
Trustee Linden?
Aye.
Trustee Jones?
Aye.
Trustee Essek?
Yes.
Nine passes.
We have two reports tonight. The fire department report for the month of September. There were 199 calls total, of which 131 were rescue and EMS, 21 good intent calls, 29 false alarms, 4 severe weather and natural disasters, 3 fires, and 1 explosion overheat. The second report is the bid tabulation and bid openings for a 6.5-ton class wheeled excavator. We received 2 bids on it, one from Admar Supply in Buffalo, New York for $95,000, and another one from Lift Tech of Lancaster, New York for $167,500.
Thank you. Correspondence was received from the Secretary of the Fredonia Volunteer Fire Department to transfer Alexander Kurgan from the active role to the honor roll of the Fenner Hose Company.
Be it resolved that the name of Alexander Kurgan is hereby transferred from active role to the honor roll of the Fenner Hose Company effective immediately.
Second.
Trustee Cradley?
Yes.
Trustee Christina?
Yes.
Trustee Linden?
Aye.
Trustee Jones?
Aye.
Trustee Essek?
Yes.
And now, we have the public portion. Again. Well, let's go to resolutions. There is nobody to talk about, and then we talk about the water breaks and everything else. Okay? Anybody? Okay. Let's go to resolutions.
Be it resolved that the village, Village Hall office will be closed the day after Thanksgiving, Friday, November 24th, 2017, and that each village resident will use a personal / or vacation day.
Second.
Trustee Cradley?
Yes.
Trustee Christina?
Yes.
Trustee Linden?
Aye.
Trustee Jones?
Aye.
Trustee Essek?
Yes.
Be it resolved that the regular and overtime payrolls of the various village departments and bills approved by the Finance Committee and set forth in abstract number 494 is hereby approved and directed paid.
I second.
Trustee Cradley?
Yes.
Trustee Christina?
Yes.
Trustee Linden?
Aye.
Trustee Jones?
Aye.
Trustee Essek?
Yes.
Whereas the village intends to place decorations on certain National Grid streetlight poles, and whereas National Grid has requested as a certain condition that the village provided necessary proof of insurance and sign an indemnification agreement, now therefore be it resolved that the village provide proof of insurance, and the mayor is hereby authorized to sign on behalf of the village of Fredonia an indemnification agreement to National Grid for all liability arising from the attachment, maintenance, or removal of the decorations. And be it further resolved that upon approval from National Grid, the street department is hereby authorized to place Christmas decorations on the said streetlight poles.
I second.
Trustee Cradley?
Yes.
Trustee Christina?
Yes.
Trustee Linden?
Aye.
Trustee Jones?
Yes.
Trustee Essek?
Yes.
Be it resolved that the purchase of a 2017 Wacker EW65 excavator from the Admar Supply of Kenmore, New York, for the total sum of $95,000 for use by the Streets Department is hereby approved.
Second.
Trustee Cradley?
Yes.
Trustee Christina?
Yes.
Trustee Linden?
Aye.
Trustee Jones?
Aye.
Trustee Essek?
Yes. Be it resolved that the resolution adopted by the Board of Trustees on October 9, 2017 for the purchase of a New Holland T5.110 four-wheel drive cab tractor from Larry Romance and Son for the total sum of $65,562 is hereby rescinded.
I second.
Trustee Cradley?
Yes.
Trustee Christina?
Yes.
Trustee Linden?
Aye.
Trustee Jones?
Aye.
Trustee Essek?
Yes. Be it resolved that the resolution adopted by the Board of Trustees on October 9, 2017 for the purchase of a Tiger Wildcat AR-12 mid-mount side shift mower from Syncon for the total sum of $73,943 is hereby rescinded.
I second.
Trustee Greeley?
Yes.
Trustee Christina?
Yes.
Trustee Linden?
Aye.
Trustee Jones?
Aye.
Trustee Essek?
Yes. Be it resolved that the Village of Fredonia has received notification from Sabrina M. Ty, President and CEO of the New York State Environmental Facilities Corporation, that the village has been awarded a New York State Water Infrastructure Improvement Act grant in the amount not to exceed $931,031 for a DBP reduction project at the water filtration plant. And be it further resolved that the mayor is hereby authorized to sign the acknowledgement and acceptance of WIIA grant award with the intent to proceed with the DWSRF project number 18389 on behalf of the Village of Fredonia.
Second.
Trustee Greeley?
Yes.
Trustee Christina?
Yes.
Trustee Linden?
Aye.
Trustee Jones?
Yes.
Trustee Essek?
Yes.
Be it resolved that the Village of Fredonia has received notification from Sabrina M. Ty, President and CEO of the New York State Environmental Facilities Corporation, that the village has been awarded a New York State Water Infrastructure Improvement Act grant in the amount not to exceed $1,192,040 for the wastewater treatment plant improvement project at the wastewater treatment plant, and be it further resolved that the mayor is hereby authorized to sign the acknowledgement and acceptance of the WIIA grant award with the intent to proceed with DWSRF project number C-9-6702-02-00 on behalf of the Village of Fredonia.
I second.
Trustee Greeley?
Yes.
Trustee Christina?
Yes.
Trustee Linden?
Aye.
Trustee Jones?
Aye.
Trustee Essek?
Yes.
Be it resolved that the purchase of a new John Deere 5100E tractor with mower and attachments under the terms of the NJPA from Simkin Premier Municipal and Truck Equipment, 7494 West Henrietta Road, Rush, New York, for the total sum of $136,368.80 for use by the Department of Public Works is hereby approved.
Second.
Trustee Greeley?
Yes.
Trustee Christina?
Yes.
Trustee Linden?
Aye.
Trustee Jones?
Aye.
Trustee Essek?
Yes.
All right. Thank you very
You got
much.
one more.
Oh, and one more.
The one more, yeah. Whereas the Village of Fredonia Village has an established fire department which is composed of both paid and volunteer firefighters and officers. Whereas the Village Board of Trustees has considered that in order to protect the residents and the taxpayer of the village, the position of a paid fire chief may be in the best interest of the village and its taxpayer and residents. Now therefore, it is resolved that the Village Board of Trustees hereby determines that in order to protect the residents and the taxpayer of the village, creating the position of a paid fire chief is in the best interest of the village and its taxpayers and residents. And it is further resolved that the position of the paid fire chief is hereby established in the Village of Fredonia Fire Department effective October 24th, 2017. And it is further resolved that the paid fire chief shall have command over and responsibility for all the personnel, equipment, property, and operations of the fire department, and that the village shall establish the other duties and authorities of the paid fire chief as it shall determine from time to time pursuant to its authority under the village charter, village law, and otherwise. And it is further resolved that the village shall establish the salary and the benefit for the position of the paid fire chief to be paid from the budget funds of the village. And it is further resolved that Ryan Walker be and is hereby appointed as provisional paid fire chief pending the outcomes of a civil, oh, okay, I put that at the end there. Okay. Okay, I have to back. Resolve that Ryan Walker be and is hereby appointed as provisional paid fire chief at the annual salary of $85,000, the outcome of a civil service test for such position, and the appointment of a permanent paid fire chief. And it is further resolved that the village hereby calls for a civil service test for the position of paid fire chief for the village, and that the village take all such steps with the Chautauqua County Civil Service Board to administer such examination at the earliest opportunities. And it is further resolved that these resolutions shall take effective immediately.
Yep, October 24th,
Oh.
2017.
you keep it October 24th, 2015,
17.
2017. Okay.
Okay, could you read that over?
I second.
Trustee Linden.
Aye.
Trustee Christina.
Yes.
Trustee Jones.
Aye.
Trustee Acid.
Yes.
Trustee Greeley.
Yes.
I should have written
That's the last one, right? Okay. So, done with the resolutions and everything else. I thought we should touch base as to what happened over the last weekend. Many things are going up back and forth. I know I put a lot of things on the Facebook, so everybody knows. We had a kind of large water main break, substantial up Route 20, and then a smaller one inside the village of Chautauqua Road. Now, because the first one was a very big one, it had a considerable effect on the water plant and on the tank. So the tank almost depleted in the beginning very quickly. However, and we bought water from the city of Dunkirk for about 3 hours. Is that correct? 3 hours and something?
4 hours.
About 4 hours,
Yeah.
yes. So it was, yes, for about 4 hours. In the meantime, our plant was working full capacity and was able to pick up and was able to, we were able to stop the buying of water, and we are about 3 hours later, around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, all brakes were fixed and the water plant was working to capacity. Is that correct? Okay. So, because that was a very big pipe, because we almost depleted the tank, and because we wanted to be extra careful, we contacted the Chautauqua County Department of Health. They recommended, as a precaution, to have a boil water advisory. And that's why the boil water advisory went on effect. It's still in effect. That means that if you need to drink water, prepare food with water, wash your baby's bottle, or prepare formula, you need to boil the water for a minute and then leave it to cool down. For everything, and wash vegetables and brush your teeth. For everything else, the water is safe, and actually we want to call upon the village residents to use the water as much as possible, because we need to let the chlorinated water get through our system. The health department is in charge as to when we're going to lift that advisory. And a part of that, everything else is working fine. We had a problem. This is not the first time, and this is not the first municipality that had this problem. We looked into it. I have to thank very much our water department, our street department. They were working overtime through the whole weekend, and everything is fixed. Now, I understand people are thinking, what's going on? Why so many? And I'm thinking the same thing, frankly. So I discussed the issue with our chief operator at the water plant. I discussed the issue with our chief operator at the street department. We have some raised pressure, obviously, and when the pressure is going up, sometimes, and we have weak points, that weak points tend to break. This is the whole story. Now, somebody went back to the a fire. We had a fire on Route 20 right before, the day before this happened. And maybe the water was turned off abruptly. That's one of the reasons. There are quite a few reasons in our mind, but nothing that we can remedy except the result. We have some water main breaks, we fix them, the water is clean, we go from there. Is that correct? Did I say everything correctly?
just have to continue to boil.
Yes, you have to continue to boil until the health department gives us the okay to stop doing so. Do you have any questions or any issues? I want to address something else too. I know that some people called the street department actually, I found out, saying that if the mayor had gone with the North County Water District, this would not have been the problem. That's a mistake. This is infrastructure problem. Has nothing to do with any district, has nothing to do with the supply of water. Has to do with distribution. The distribution is ours. We can be by ourselves, we can be part of a district, we can be part of an authority, anything we can do. It has nothing to do with the distribution. The distribution is ours. We have to pay for it, we have to fix it when it breaks, we have to replace it when it's not fixable. This is all ours. And there is another thing. If we were part of the water district, I said that last time, you know how much water we lost? Yes, we bought water from Dunkirk, and we'll pay for that, about 4 hours water from Dunkirk. If we were part of the district, all the water that we lost, the whole tank, we're going to have to pay for that water as well. Because the water from the district, we pay for whatever comes inside the village from outside, not from whatever we use. So I'm not going to say we were lucky, because obviously we were not very lucky to have that. But overall, it's a good thing at this point that we were not part of it. Does anybody has any questions? Or any of the trustees have anything to add? All right then. That's all I had to say.
Make a motion for adjournment.
Second.
Trustee Cleary. Trustee Christina.
Yes.
Trustee Linden.
Aye.
Trustee Jones.
Aye.
Trustee Esser.
Yes.
Thank you very much for coming.
Good point.